Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, as promised in my last video about my Instagram stories, today's video is all going to be about how I edit my Instagram photos. So if you want to find out how I edit my particular photos on Instagram, then stay tuned. Firstly, if you're new here, hi, my name is Christina and I do videos every Monday and Thursday, so if you like what you see, definitely hit the subscribe button. I should also introduce this little baby. He'll be with us in a few months as well, but more on that in some other videos. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, then you can find me at Chrissisblogs, and my Instagram feed, go and have a look at it and you'll see how my Instagram feed is. But I have a kind of what I like to call quite beige type theme, and I am really loving it at the moment. So I thought I'd share with you how I edit my Instagram photos. Also because I've had a few people asking me how I edit and what I use to edit. So I want to talk about why even have a theme. Now, having a theme just means, you know, so that your Instagram is clean and it looks professional. Now, this is great if you actually want your Instagram to be a professional page. It's also great if, like me, you just want your Instagram to just be uniform and look quite good and all have a particular style and look. But I like to have a style and look so that everyone knows when they see my pictures and when they see my YouTube channel and all the things to do with me, they all mesh together so you know it's me when you're looking at a particular picture. It also allows people to know who you are creatively as well. Okay, so let's go into my how I edit my pictures. So I start off, the first thing I start off with, this is my little so this is my little box of apps that I use in Instagram. So the first thing I actually start off with is Visco, and you'll see some pictures here now. And what I do is I add what picture I want to edit. So let's just go with this one. And yeah, so this is how I start off. So what I actually do is I have an edit on all of my pictures. So on all of these, they're the same edit, and then I just go in and tweak it. So what I normally do, for example, is go into this, I copy this edit on the last photo that I done, and then I just paste that edit, which is just a quick and simple way to make sure all your photos are pretty uniform. So let me show you what I then go into. So I go into it, I'll show you, go into the photo, and let me tell you what this particular edit is. So I start off with M5, and this is at full percentage. The exposure is the same. The contrast is up by +1. Sharpen is nothing, clarity is nothing, saturation is nothing, shadows is up by 3.7. So this is the same on all my photos. Shadows is 3.7 plus. Sorry. The white balance is the same. Vignette is up by 2.6. And grain is by 4.2, and that's it. And then I go in, so that's how my picture looks at the moment. I actually want to take a bit of grain off of this, so I'll just tweak that. You can adjust the exposure on this, but all in all, that is how I pretty much have most of my photos. This, to me, is the perfect edit for a lot of my photos, but I will have one or two photos that, you know, will want more of a vignette. So for example, I'll go down to this one about the clothes rack, and I have put a large vignette on this. So this is 6.8 in the vignette, and it just makes it a little bit more moody, you know. Also, if it's too beige for you, you can go down, and it will just take a little bit of the kind of beige tone, make it a bit more cool toned on the photo. Clarity is great for particular photos if you want them to really pop. And grain, I just love a bit of grain, but not on all my photos. When it's photos of me, I don't put too much, but when I do photos of like just layout photos, then I put a lot of grain on it. So that's how that looks at the moment. But as you can see, having that cool tone takes away from the rest of the images. So anyway, let's take this photo and save it to camera roll. I always go with actual size. Okay. So after Visco, I go into Facetune if it's a picture of myself. A lot of the time, if it's just a picture of products and, you know, just not a picture of me, then I will only go into Facetune to kind of put more detail into some of the products. But if it's a photo of me, I will upload it. And I don't do too much on Facetune. I don't use it that often. I used to use the whiten tool to make walls whiter, so you can make this so much whiter and brighter if you wanted that. But because I like the beige look anyway, I don't really use it anymore. You can use this a little toggle here to see the before and after, but we don't want to do that. What I do want to do is go into my face and then I'm going to use the smooth tool. Now I just use the one with the one teardrop. You can go a bit higher, but I just like to keep this quite simple. I don't like to do too much to my face. I just want to make it a bit more realistic and how it actually looks in real life. So one thing I do is I have these lines on my head, so I just kind of clear those up a little bit and then just go around the face to just smooth everything out a little bit. But that's it. Tiny little bit, not too much. That's the before, that's the after. I don't like to do too much. I will, if I have like a blemish, then I will either smooth it out or use the patch tool. So the patch tool you can just press. Let's say let's say this was a spot, then I can press it like this, like so, and take another piece of skin to make it look like skin, so it disappears like that. So it's great for that. Then details is the other tool that I use here, and literally I will go in, I will do a little sweep on the eyelashes, kind of just like my makeup and like features on my face, so my lips, my eyes, my eyebrows, and then maybe sometimes go in on my jewellery. So that's the before, that's the after. I'll go in on these little jewellery bits and just make those a bit more prominent. I always like to do my ring. And that's it. So that's before, that's after. And that generally is all I use Facetune for. I don't like to go in too much. Some people can really Photoshop their face. But I like to keep it as natural as possible, but you know, you can do a lot with Facetune. So save that to camera roll. Okay, so next step for me, it depends on the photo, but then it would normally be Snapseed. So I don't use this on all of my photos, it's just not necessary, but on some photos it helps. So let's go open device, and as you can see I'm getting loads of the same photo now. So yeah, you've got loads of different tools on this. You can actually have a filter. Portrait is really nice. Again, it just smooths everything out. You've got smooth, you've got pop, you've got just so many. But I just normally just keep it the same. And the one, I really just use Snapseed for one tool. So that is the brush tool. So I press brush, and you've got dodge and burn, exposure, temperature and saturation. So most of the time it's saturation and exposure I use. So if I wanted to use the exposure, let's say that this corner with the diffuser is a bit too dark for my liking, then I will go up or down on the exposure scale. So down just means I'll make that particular area not so exposed, and up will make it a little bit brighter. So I'm going to go, let's just say 0.7, like so, that's the middle of the exposure range, and then just tap that area. So look, you can see what that does there. So let's X that. And exposure, and I just will lightly tap that area. And if you want to see the before and after, you have the toggle on the top right to see the before and after. There's not much going on there. Okay, you've also got the eye on the bottom right, which shows you in red, you see this, what you're actually using. Okay, so you can take that off, like what you're actually doing to that photo. But for this particular photo, I'm not going to use it. But what you will do, so I'll just press save, export, and save a copy. But I don't need it for this particular photo. But that is normally my next step. And that's pretty much it. Some photos I have been using a new app called Mextures, which I just absolutely love. It's just so cool. It's just so cool. I'll show you how I use this. So I'll use my latest photo, use this one. You can just have it uncropped how you normally have it. And then it has all these different features that you can use. So you have light leaks, grit and grain, emulsion, just so many. I love a bit of grit and grain, and as you can see, you can just put a little bit of texture, as much as you want, onto these photos. So let's say this cataract one, and what you can do is you can press this, hold on, let's do this again, uncropped. So you can press this and do as much or little of it as you want. So let's say this one, loving that. And you just play around with different textures on this thing. What I will then can do is add a light leak onto it. So that will be a photo, like a little photo splodge type thing. I do love a bit of edge burn. I think that's quite cute, like so. And then you just save it, and then that is pretty much your image done for me. Anyways, it's really fairly simple. I like to keep it simple. I used to use Photoshop, I used to use loads of different apps, and it just got too much, and it just makes you not even want to take any Instagram photos, which is not the point. You want to keep it kind of simple. Stick to a theme that you like on VSCO and just copy all of those edits onto your photos. It always seems to work. Okay, so the last thing I do is I go onto Instagram, I upload that particular photo. I don't touch any of these edits. I go into the edit, and the only thing I really do, unless I need to just retouch the brightness and contrast, etc., I do use the sharpen, and I just sharpen it up a little bit more, because the Instagram sharpen tool seems to be the best sharpen tool, and it just makes everything just a little bit clearer. So I really like that one. And then I just upload it, and that is that. That is pretty much how I edit my photos. Okay, so two more apps that I use. I do use an app called Unfold, and this is great for Instagram stories. Now, I've done a whole other video on this, so I'll link it in the video somewhere here, as well as down in the description box, so you can go check that one out as and when. Okay, lastly, the last app that I use, and that's before I put anything on Instagram, I'll have all my photos saved in my photo box, and I will use this app called Runnin. So Runnin is just a great app to plan your feed. So here you will see my future feed. So all these ones with the little Instagram are the photos that are already up on Insta. And then, as you can see, these are all the ones I plan, and I can see what kind of goes with what on this on my feed, and if it looks a bit too busy or if it's a bit too plain, I can just balance all my photos out how I want them to. So as you can see, I've done all these photos already, so I'm going to delete these ones, okay, and then I'm going to move these ones down so I know that this much is planned. And then what I'm going to do is you can just add some photos and take them away. What I like to do is always, you know, I don't like to put too many selfies in the same shot. I don't like them all to be long shots. I don't like them all to be pictures of me either. So I kind of like to balance it all out with different photos, and this is the way that I do it. You can just move the photos around. Let's add the photo I've just created and see if that fits in with my feed. So I can put this, let's say, here. So I've got a picture of myself with a long shot picture of myself. Got a picture of the house, and then I've got a second picture of myself, but they're not all grouped together, so it's not just a whole feed on me, you know, there's different things, a variety of things on this app. Okay, so that's how I edit my Instagram photo. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any videos like this in the future. Also, if you want any more videos to do with this topic, then comment down below so I know what you want to see. But until then, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!